Flashcard Friday. You submit random topics. We don't know what's coming. We're freestyling. We're improving right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. It's the C's. Who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT, Karalis. Recap the madness every game, every practice. Prime time, dapping D White on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It is your team every day. Your team is the Boston Celtics. I talk about them every Monday through Friday. Right now, middle of September, still grinding through this daily Monday through Friday. So subscribe wherever your podcast exists. It's on YouTube. Pretty soon, we're going to be at Media Day. We're going to be talking about actual basketball. So we're going to have fun until then. Today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. I'd like to welcome you to the show. If you're new, I'm John Karalis. I'm a beat writer covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. I've been doing a version of this job for about 20 years. I've also written a couple of books about the team. Thank you for being an everydayer if you're with me every Monday through Friday. And thank you for appreciating Tom Westerholm as much as I do. Hi, Tom Westerholm.
Hello.
People love Tom Westerholm, whose Celtics content you can find at boston.com. This stack. This is not even a stack. This was such a big pile of flashcards that if you're new to the show, I've asked people to submit random Celtics topics. We thought it'd be fun to just pick them out and right off the top of our head react. We've gone through. I got index cards all over this office. So, but we're down to like the last few.
Pokemon cards in my son's room. You've got just Celtics questions all over.
Just Celtics questions every. So we pull from the pile, we react. We got some fun ones in the third segment. I don't know what's coming, and so let's just dive into it right away. Boom. Ooh. The 1994-95 Celtics with Reggie Lewis and Len Bias. 1994-95, the Boston Celtics with Reggie Lewis and Len Bias. So obviously we know the tragedy with these two. But at that point, Reggie Lewis had been very well established, I think, as a budding all-star. And and Len Bias was at that point, that was going to be his rookie season, I believe. So 1994, I'm going to pull up the 1994-95 Celtics. So this is, no, his rookie season would have been before that.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, no, his rookie season would have been before that. So this is, yeah, by a couple years. So at this point, Robert Parrish was gone. Kevin McHale was gone. Bird was gone for a couple years. So we're looking at what year did Len Bias die? I'm going to look that up real quick.
Well, he died. I mean, it would have been 86, right? And like after the draft.
No, died 1986.
Yeah.
So it was 1986. So this would have been 9 years into the league. The 1994-95 Celtics, I mean, it's so hard to say because at that point he would have been in the league 9 years. Half of these moves wouldn't have been made.
A lot of sliding doors, yeah.
A lot of sliding doors. What I will say is, at this point, Reggie Lewis would be kind of, at the last few years of his career. Len Bias would have been, when he died in 1986. He was 22 years old, so he would have been 30. Mm-hmm. Look, I don't know what they would have been in 94-95. They probably would have won a championship at some point, but I do believe that Len Bias was good enough. And I do believe that Reggie Lewis was good enough.
Yeah.
That it would have extended Larry Bird's career, and it would have extended Kevin McHale's career. And they probably would have won somewhere in the late 80s. 94-95, that might have been, the beginning and the end of that next era.
Yeah.
But what we wouldn't have had is I don't think we would have had the Pitino era. I don't think we would have had, like, ML Carr comes in after 94, 95 and the Celtics start to really tank. And then Rick Pitino comes in 97, 98. We don't have Rick Pitino. So whatever they would have been in 94, 95, I think that would have been at least good enough to not feel the desperation to say, okay, we're going to go to Rick Pitino and we're going to try to remake everything. Like, Pitino doesn't come in, Red doesn't give up the presidency, all of that stuff like that. So I think that's the best thing I can say about the 94-95 Celtics with Reggie and Len.
Yeah, I don't think there would have been a Dominique Wilkins on that team.
No,
would be one guess I would hazard. I mean, I think the Len Bias, Reggie Lewis thing is like, it really is like a pre-Jays, right? Like,
yeah.
like two wings, two star wings. Would have been really interesting to see in that era of basketball, like what that would have looked like. But I bet it would have been good. I think. I agree with you. I think that I'm curious what the what the impetus was from this questioner to pick 94, 95. That's an interesting. I would love. I know we wanted one sentence on all of these, but like I almost want one more sentence on that one. Like, why that year specifically? I think there are potentially more interesting years. But
I think it's because it's before ML Carr took over and they started to tank.
Okay,
that's going to be my guess.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that this, we're definitely looking. I think we're probably looking at least one more title over that stretch. I think we're looking at a team with, what would that have been? 16 or 17 banners at that point, right?
Well, yeah,
because
banner 17 was
2000.
the 2000. Yeah, so
I think we probably would have already seen banner 17.
This is where it just gets off the rails, and this is why I don't like doing this a lot, because the way my brain works is, well, that means they wouldn't have died, which means they would have played in the late 80s, which means half the guys who were on this team wouldn't have been there. Which means maybe some guys don't retire. And that means that the draft picks aren't where they are. Yeah. And that means the coaching decisions are different. And so maybe ML Carr doesn't come in, and maybe they never tank, and maybe Red pulls a move, or maybe something else happens. And what ends up happening is we don't get the 2008 championship, and we don't get this championship a couple of seasons ago. And so that's like, do you still have 18 banners at this point? Maybe there's a drought that's still going on. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. So I'm not one that enjoys a lot of these hypotheticals necessarily, because frankly, I don't play along. I don't play along with the hypothetical, because if somebody says, oh, what if you put Shaq in the 60s? I don't just sit there and be like, oh man, well, how he would dominate. I think, well, Shaq in the 60s would have to have a second job, and he wouldn't be as big because he wouldn't have the same training facilities, and he wouldn't have his shoes, and he would have been subjected to the same racism and all of that stuff that all of the black players were subjected to in the 60s. Yep. And so would he have still been dominant? Yeah, probably, because dominant players would be dominant, I think, in any era, but it would have been a completely different Shaq. It would have been a completely different attitude, and who knows how it would have gone. His family life would have been different. Everything would have been different. So I can't say. That's what I'm saying. When I say I don't play along, that's what I mean. I don't play along, because after I get done talking, people go like, dude, we're just trying to have some fun. And I'm not that person.
No, for sure. I do get the desire to do those questions. I mean, it's fun, right? I guess the spoil sport of that is, think how interesting NBA history is anyway. Like, it's like, how much fiction do you really need in a nonfiction?
It's great bar talk. And I think I used to be that. I used to be like that. And then I don't know, I've grown out of it, or I've had these debates so often that I counterpoint so many times that now I'm like counterpointing.
You drive yourself crazy, and
yeah, it's a lot. All right. Why don't we switch gears here? And we'll get into, when we come back, next season's assist leader. Okay. Who is next season's assist leader? That's a question we can sink our teeth into when we come back. Today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. You know, you run your money out there, and you got money everywhere, right? Investments, 401ks, properties, maybe. And if you don't have the full picture, you can be leaving money on the table. Look, your finances are super important. You got to have a full grasp on them. Monarch Money is going to help you out because they're an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together. It's a clean, easy to use interface. You can use it on your laptop, on your phone. It's built for people with busy lives. So stop organizing your finances. Monarch is for you because it does the heavy lifting. It links all your accounts in minutes. You can see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, finally feel in control of your money without ever touching one of those godforsaken spreadsheets. I hate spreadsheets, but this is not that. Monarch Money can help you identify why you're not saving as much money as you thought. Are you spending more on things like eating out or whatever, like making in-game purchases on your phone, or just shopping, it's very easy to cruise through a shopping app and spend a lot of money. So whatever it is, whether you want to maximize your investment, increase your savings, review your finances, you can do it with your partner, combine everything into one place. Don't let a financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com. Use it in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA, Locked On NBA Game Night. I've recorded Locked On NBA Game Night, the Friday episode with Jake Madison. We're talking about the Kawhi Leonard saga, just messy. We talk about Lauri Markkanen and Eurobasket, and we talk about the commissioner, his comments about this being a highlights-driven league or highlights-centered league or whatever. It's all on Locked On NBA Game Night. Make sure you go there next after you make Locked On Celtics your first listen. Let's get back to Flashcard Friday and Tom Westerholm. Who is next season's assist leader?
I think it's a pretty easy answer. I think it's probably Derrick White. He was second on the team last year behind Tatum. I think he'll have innumerable opportunities to dish out assists this year. He'll have the ball in his hands a lot more. I think, I don't think it'll be Jaylen. I think Jaylen will probably, he'll get a lot more opportunities to be a playmaker. And I think that he's a better playmaker than he sometimes gets credit for. And I think he's done a really nice job of showing his playmaking ability when he's had opportunities. But I think that he's a scorer. I think he's going to, and the Celtics need a scorer. So I think that he'll play that role, and I think he'll really enjoy himself and relish the opportunity to do so. And I think that Derrick White will probably be the assist leader. I think you're a moron.
I think you are incorrect. And I think your opinion is objectionable.
Man, I mean, it feels just like I'm on the internet. This is
I'm going to say Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
I am going to say Jaylen Brown. So Derrick White was second. Jaylen Brown was third, and only last season was 4.8 for Derrick White and 4.5 for Jaylen Brown. So it was close. It was close. Now Jaylen played 13 fewer games, and so who knows if he would have gotten up there. I'm going to say Jaylen because of just, I think he's going to get blitzed and double teamed a lot.
Sure. Yep.
And I just think he showed me a few things last season when he was when he was the number one option, right? And the few games that Tatum missed, that was like, it was the best I'd seen Jaylen play.
Yeah.
In that role. Like last season was the best I've seen him do.
For sure.
And so I do think he's certainly going to get added opportunity. He's going to get more attention. I think Jaylen understands that to be the number one option that he wants to be, he has to give up the ball. He has to make, you have to make the defense pay. And the number one way to beat a double team and eliminate double teams is to pass it to somebody that scores. And so I think that Jaylen is going to get those opportunities, and he's also surrounded by a lot of good perimeter players. And Derrick White is part of the reason. And Anthony Simons, if he, however long he sticks around, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, those guys, they can all do things. And because of the NBA assist rules, all the guy has to do is make an initial move to the basket, and these guys can create. And I think he's going to get, I think Jaylen can get to 5, almost 6 assists a game. I think he can get an extra 1 or 2 a game. So I'm going to say Jaylen.
If Jaylen leads the Celtics in assists and points, consider his opportunity to be the number 1 guy seized.
Yeah,
very seized.
100%. Yep. Listen, I've been getting some crap because one of the topics I've talked about a bunch is Jaylen's potential for leaving the Celtics, and I did the whole first 2 segments of last night's. And look, it's full disclosure, it is a little quiet out there, so I am seizing on opportunities for when things happen. I talk about them a little bit more, maybe maybe on another day I wouldn't have talked about Jaylen, what he said on the radio, as much as I would have, or at all. But he said it, and I think I'm well reasoned in my arguments. But I also do believe that Jaylen Brown is an elite basketball player and fully capable of increasing both his points and his assists. I mean, he averaged 22 points last year. I think he can get up to 25. Again, I think he can get 25. Yeah, I think that's easy enough. 25 and 6 assists. I think that's going to be an incredible year for him. 25, 6, and 6 is a great year for Jaylen Brown.
Let's do a full LeBron year. Let's get a 27, 7, and 7.
Let's do it.
Let's
do it. All right. Let's move on to the value of second round picks. This is an interesting question. Yeah. Such a podcast question too.
It is.
This is for the sickos. This is for the everydayers who are just like, yeah, you know what? Who cares if it's the middle of September? I'm still listening 5 days a week, because you never know when we might get into the value of second round picks.
Yeah.
I do believe that they are more valuable than a lot of people like to make them, for a variety of reasons. First of all, you never know if one of these guys is going to hit. Obviously, like, Nikola Jokic was the second round pick. You never know when you're going to find somebody that is just a gem, diamond in the rough. And because you also have to make trades, and like, people accept them as, now you see people like, we traded 5 second round picks for a player. Like, yeah, okay, because the rules aren't the same. You don't have to skip a year for a first round like you do it for first round picks. So they're valuable. They are. And yes, you can buy them. They're not like the most valuable things, but stockpiling them makes sense. It gives you opportunities. You never know when you're going to get with the 2 or 3 two-way slots. You never know who you're going to get that could end up helping. And I'll just say this: guys who drop into the second round have a ton of motivation. And every once in a while you find a guy that's like, I should be a middle of the first round or a lottery pick. And they're all going to pay. They're all going to pay. And you get a guy that will do the work, maybe the work that he might not have done if he was selected in the lottery.
Sure.
And so, yeah, you got to have those second round picks. You cannot be dismissive of those.
You can't be dismissive of them. I will say that it's the second round, when you go through, like, if you go through previous years and you count up all these guys. I mean, I'm very guilty of this as somebody who loves the draft, loves like prospects, all that stuff. You go through the second round and you see all these guys that you were like, how did this guy slide to the second round?
Yeah.
And then like, you're like, oh yeah, he's to the second round because he's not an NBA player. And the talent evaluators accurately evaluated that particular talent. That one's on me. Hand up my bad, everybody. But I think that one other thing that I think that you're right when you look at second round picks, as if you can get a guy like who can actually be a part of your rotation and can actually play basketball for you, and the only cost to you is a bunch of second round picks and maybe somebody you're not using or whatever it is. That in that regard, second round picks are quite valuable. Having a lot of them is valuable because you can compile them all together. And I will also say that for a team that is like, I think especially as we get to this stage where being cash strapped is going to be a pretty common theme across the NBA, being able to have these guys that aren't on the guaranteed contracts for as long as, first round guys are, that's going to be really, there's value in that too, right? To where you're not just locking yourself into a player that, like, you don't know if this guy's going to develop or not. You don't know if this rookie coming in is going to be valuable for you over the next 4 years and somebody who you want to extend. But if you want to take a flyer on a guy, if you want to take a flyer on a Jordan Walsh who has all this potential and it's not going to necessarily cost you an arm and a leg like it would if you had picked him with the 22nd pick, that matters a lot too, right? Like, so there's another element of it where, the guaranteed 4-year thing can be tough. So yeah, I mean, second round picks are valuable. It's just, I think that a lot of their value is more conceptual than the actual player that you're going to be pulling in.
Right. They are like, I don't know, bonus bets. They're the two-way contracts. It's real money going out, but
they
don't count towards your cap. So, Amari Williams, like, hey, he's a passer. He's a big. Let's see. If he has an NBA skill, then let's see. He also has a lot of deficiencies. That's why he's down at the end of the second round. But there are guys in that second round. You're like, hey, it's worth a look. It's a coupon. It's basically like, hey, here's a look. You're gonna have to pay a little something, but like you pay at a discount. And so it's there are a lot of reasons to see those as valuable, and not having any isn't going to crush you, but having a bunch of them, whatever. Like teams are always looking for them, so you could always like just move them. All right, let's come back. We'll do one more from the serious pile, quote unquote serious pile, and then we'll get into some fun ones. Ooh, the Celtics never needed Kristaps Porzingis. Ooh,
Trey Adele,
juicy.
is that you?
I didn't write that one. I like Kristaps. All right, we'll talk about that when we come back. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Speaking of bonus bets, if you make your first $5 bet over at FanDuel.com, if it wins, you have an opportunity to get $300 in bonus bets. So make it a good one, right? It's football season, college and pro. So go and you can have some fun with the game, wins and losses. You can have some fun with prop bets, whether you bet on how many touchdown passes Drake May is going to throw or anything like that. You can do that. You can do an in-game parlay, same game parlay, where you stack a few different bets together. Hey, have some fun with it if you want. It's up to you. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com. When you sign up, you'll see a prompt that says, set your limit, set your budget. Do that. Whatever your disposable income is for that week, those 2 weeks, whatever, you can set that. If you have a losing streak, we don't want to see it, but if it happens, then it triggers, boom, you're protected. We don't want to get out of control. So have some fun over at FanDuel.com. If you're ready to play, download that FanDuel app at FanDuel.com to get started. You place your first $5 bet. You never know. If you win it, you can get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Just a reminder, if you didn't hear Monday's podcast, we did the Locked On NBA Top 100. The top 100 players in the league voted on by Locked On hosts, the Locked On local experts. The full list is on Locked On Sports Today on YouTube. My reaction podcast was the Tuesday. I recorded it on Monday. It's the Tuesday podcast, actually. I did not like where people landed, so I let my opinion fly on Tatum and Brown and Derrick White and Peyton Pritchard and Anthony Simons, all of whom made the top 100. So check that out. All right, let's get back to Tom. The Celtics never needed Kristaps Porzingis. What do you think about that?
It's honestly, I think it's a fair question, or I don't know. It's possible, I mean, I think, look, having him was an embarrassment of riches sometimes. And I mean, part of the thing about being a championship team is that it's really hard, and having an embarrassment of riches is, I mean, it's really important. It's so hard to win a title that even when you're the heavy favorite, things can still go so wrong that, like, having a ton of guys. So having an Al Horford to come off the bench to start when Porzingis inevitably goes down, that matters a lot. So I think there's some level of, like, having Porzingis, did it help Horford stay fresher for longer so that he can make a deeper run? Like, again, we're kind of talking about, a sliding door situation, right? But so I think there's no way to give a definitive yes or no. I think that having Kristaps Porzingis helped. And when you're trying to win a championship, everything that helps matters.
So need is the operative word, right? That's the one we're playing the semantics with. Need. Did they need Porzingis? Did they need him? Here's where I'm going to say yes, they needed him, because it set the tone. He's the guy who came and, like, all of a sudden it was like, oh wow, yes, they got Drew Holiday, and that was like, oh, now it makes that snapped everything into place, because he kind of replaced Marcus Smart on the defensive end and added shooting to that position. But getting Porzingis, and you're like, okay, well, this is the unicorn, right? This is the guy. This is the guy that Brad Stevens talked about. You can throw it to him. He's the guy that fixes a lot of the things that were bothering the Celtics. Yeah, he got hurt, but he wasn't that hurt during that regular season,
right?
That first regular season, he played plenty. And then I think in that Miami series, he played 3 full games, and the Celtics were up 2-1. Then he got hurt in that third one. That was the one where Derrick White went berserk. But having him set this championship kind of atmosphere, that's knowing that he was around, and like the confidence that permeated that practice facility is what made me, like, look at it and say, oh, these guys this is the championship team. This team, everybody put your lawn chairs down on Tremont Street. There's going to be a parade. Now, obviously he got hurt. He missed the whole Cleveland series. He missed the whole Indiana series. And he had some impact against the Mavs, right? So I'm not saying they don't win a championship if he never gets here, but I just think the impact beyond on the court was so important that they did, in fact, need him. So we'll just put it that way.
Winning a title is hard. And,
winning a title,
having guys who help you win a title matters. So, yeah,
that's right. Okay, so that's I'm just going through. These are the goofy kind of questions here. I'm shuffling them up because I had to take a look to make sure I was getting the right pile. All right, we're gonna mix them up. These are we like to have fun at the end of these shows. So, okay, let's get to Yam Madar equals Sid Finch. Sid Finch, for people who don't know, is a fictional baseball pitcher created. I forget who the Sports Illustrated writer was, but it was a Sports Illustrated April Fool's story about this fictional pitcher. And Yam Madar is a fictional point guard who actually did play in Eurobasket and was okay.
Yeah.
But as far as we're concerned, we're never going to see him. So if you didn't see anything in Eurobasket, maybe you don't think he exists.
Yeah. I mean, for Celtics purposes, he's, basically is. I think that's, I don't really have anything to add to that card. Like, yes, correct.
That's right. I'm surprised that the rights to Yam Madar have not been traded at this point. Because the whole point of having a guy like that is the rights to, like, you have to trade something in a deal. Yeah. So why aren't look, maybe this is my ignorance. Maybe there's a rule that I missed that's not enough anymore. Maybe I just overlooked that at some point, but used to be, you trade whatever player, it's a minor trade. And the thing that the other team gets is the rights to a guy like Yam Madar. And now it's a heavily protected second round pick, right? Top 55 protected. So it's never going to convey. And that's what people get. That's what teams get. So I don't know, but yes.
The rights to Ricky Sanchez is obviously a great podcast. The rights to Yam Madar would be a great indie pop punk band.
The rights to I like it.
Yam Madar. That's got like a nice.
If the rights to Ricky Sanchez ever wanted to expand and do a podcast network, you could do the rights to and have like an obscure name to everything. Yeah. That could be a thing. Yeah. All right, let's have some more fun here. Lobster, Tom.
Max.
What's your opinion on lobster?
So I stopped eating lobster and crab. This is not a fun answer. This is like the most like, wow, Tom, you are just a bummer answer. But when I found out that lobster and crab are sentient, I stopped eating them.
Okay.
So, I don't know. It's good though. I miss it.
Lobster is good.
Lobster is really good.
Big fan. I'm a big fan of lobster. Lobster, shrimp, crab. Oh, I'm a big seafood guy. Lobster is it for me. If I ate nothing but lobster the rest of my life, I'd be rich, but I'd also be very happy. Let's just end on this. Joe Mazzulla's next wild animal analogy. What would Joe Mazzulla's next wild animal analogy be? Well, let's see. This team is like underdog, underrated. What underrated underdog animal? Honey badger.
I was thinking Tasmanian devil, but I knew that wasn't it. So honey badger was the one I was trying to come up with. Or like
honey badger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's going to be it's going to be a honey badger reference. That we're little, no one thinks much of us. Everybody wants to attack us, but we're going to be the honey badger because they're badass. No one like. Go ahead. You ever see a lion attack a honey badger? Lion pays for that, man. Gets bit on the nose. They don't like it. Honey badgers, they got a big tough shell, like skin. Like it's not like those are honey badgers are nothing to be messed with, man.
What's an animal that like if you take a bite out of it or if you eat it, like you'll win, but it's gonna hurt? What's an animal like that?
Are you gonna eat something poisonous?
Something
maybe?
Like that. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is there like a poisonous animal where if you eat it, like
that's gonna be like one of those like Brazilian tree frogs that's like super colorful, but it's like super poisonous.
Yeah, you could,
something like that.
Bite, but like, or like a puffer fish, like
I did. The puffer fish was in my head for sure.
You can take a bite, or like a porcupine or something.
He does like the aquatic.
Crazy though.
I mean, orcas. Like this is not we're not killer whale offense anymore, so you can't do that. It has to be underdog and tons of fight and unexpected. So it has to be something small and underrated that packs a big punch. So maybe he goes like to like the dinosaurs and goes like Stegosaurus or something like that with the big, like the horns in the back and the big club tail. So when the Tyrannosaurus Rex came at it,
that's Ankylosaurus as the father of an 8-year-old.
Oh, the Stegosaurus had the spike tail.
They had the spike tail. Yes,
That's right.
Well, I kind of like the Pachycephalosaurus. They have like big, strong heads, and they just like ram you, like they just like run into you because they got like such a big skull.
Yeah. I get, and I
can see Peyton Pritchard as a Pachycephalosaurus, just kind of like just head down, just bam.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stick with honey badger. I think that's gonna be the one. And that's where we're going to be. We're
not unlike a honey badger himself. There's honey badger in there.
Yeah, there's something in there. Oh, money badger.
Money badger.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Because anything else, it's like cockroaches and vermin that are survivors and stuff like that. Honey badger is so much cooler, and it has like that old viral video The one that was animated. Like,
Yeah.
I can't say what it is because I'm supposed to not swear on this video. On this, but Honey Badger, look it up. All right, that's it. Flashcard Friday. We're almost done with Flashcard Friday. Season's going to be here. Maybe we get a few more topics to just get us to the last couple of weeks, but I think we only have like 2 more Flashcard Fridays. This has been fun.
Maybe we should get them just to get updated ones for the last 2 weeks, like a little preseason Flashcard Friday.
Sure. Look, I don't know about everybody else. I've enjoyed doing them. I think Flashcard Friday has been a lot of fun. I like randomly. I mean, you get every once in a while the brain fart of forgetting exactly when Reggie Lewis and Len Bias passed. Like, I was way off. But you're going to be reminded of that sometimes. My memory is not always the best, but I enjoy I think what I'm saying basically, Tom, is, hey, John, great idea.
Yeah, this was good stuff. This was a lot of fun.
Tom, thanks. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
And I do appreciate you, the listener, the viewer, the everydayer, here with me Monday through Friday. This is a Monday through Friday show. During the regular season, if there's a game on a Friday or a Saturday night, I will be doing a post-game podcast. So this show can be a Monday through Saturday, Monday through Sunday. It could be a 7-day-a-week show some weeks. So make sure you're subscribed. The show is always free. It's available everywhere. It's on YouTube. Get into the comments section, share your thoughts there, and then share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.